Ing and I are very excited to present to you Archibus OnSite, our new mobile solution for maintenance technicians in the field. So I'll get started and apologize in advance for any background noise. I know we're all in different places and there was some technical difficulties. So our Ing's microphone is not the same that she's usually using. Danielle's not in a private location, so but I think you'll be able to get the information clearly anyway. So Archibus OnSite, what is it? It is a SaaS mobile solution for field workers. This is the first version. We concentrated on the maintenance technician, on maintenance processes. We plan on building other cases into it that really satisfy any worker in the field. But again, we're starting with the technician because that has been the biggest need. It is for owners or operators with a significant maintenance workforce. And this mobile solution will certainly enable that maintenance workforce to view and complete and really access to any information that the technician needs to do their job to respond to maintenance calls in the field effectively and efficiently. It includes facilities and assets information, compliance, being able to meet compliance and regulatory requirements. And certainly with this, we really believe that this will help reduce the maintenance costs by making the maintenance process much more efficient, again, for those technicians. Just a teaser as we get started, and Ing will go into much more detail, but we've worked very hard on the user experience and certainly the information that is at the technician's fingertips, including, even from the get-go, from the start, what they first see, how they can organize requests, the information in requests, including detailed information about equipment and the work orders. Certainly the floor plan view of things, location awareness and locations of requests that they're working on, and activity logs. So being able to attach any number of documents and pictures and seeing all of those show up with comments in an activity log. Again, Ing will go into much more detail, but information, communications, location awareness, organization are guidelines that we use to really guide our process for bringing this to you. It has been released, so we we're waiting, I think, for final approval for the Apple Store. It is on the Android store, and it is ready to go for you. So we're excited to announce that it's been released as of today. So good timing. And with that, I'll kick it over to Ing to talk much more about the detail of this.
Great, thanks, Fred. Can you hear me well?
Yes, can hear you fine.
Great. Okay. Hello, everyone. Glad to see you all here. Apologize for a little bit technical issues. As Fred mentioned, Archibus OnSite is a technician mobile app built with modern technology. We are super excited to share some great features our team built in our first release. We focused on the functionality to help technicians get their work done more quickly and easily. So I will walk you through a few slides about the key features in version 1, followed by a quick demo. So onboarding and authentication is very easy. The first time when you use the app, you follow a few steps to enter your workplace URL, SSO username and password. Then you set up your passcode. Passcode is a feature that we introduced to allows you to log in more quickly. OnSite supports iPhones and Android phones. For iPhones, we support iOS version 12 or above, Android phones version 9 or above. So version 1 is an English release. we will support the localized version in later releases. Next. Planning with OnSite is easy. We offer grouping, searching, and sorting features. The grouping feature helps you find the most pressing matters first and plan your day in the most cost-effective way. By default, your requests are grouped by priority. You can change the grouping to site and building, due date, schedule date, or a mix of priority and due date. You can tap on a group to see the requests for that group. You can also search for a request by many criteria. For example, request code, equipment standard, problem type, description. You can also utilize barcode scanning to find requests for a particular equipment. You can sort your request by priority, site, building, equipment standard, problem types. Next. OnSite provides useful information to help you locate and diagnose the issue. Integration with floor plan helps you find the room or the job site more easily. Reference docs and linked request details and assignments info are all at your fingertips to help you diagnose the issue and also helps you to collaborate with other people. Next. You can create a new request from My Work request list and request details pages. OnSite guide you through a few steps to enter the required information. You can scan your barcode to prefill the location and equipment info. You have an option to self-assign it or link it to the original request. You can directly go right into your new request or back to the old one. Next. OnSite provides better data. You have the most relevant equipment information such as equipment picture, manufacturer, model number, warranty, age and life expectancy, as well as the maintenance history. If you are a new technician, this information will help you get up to speed very quickly. Next. We work very hard on communication. So you have a choice of instant communication where you can call or text or email requester or other technicians right from the app. If you prefer your communication to be recorded, you can add comments and photos to activity. Your supervisor can see the activity from the maintenance console view as well. Additionally, you can tag an employee from your organization. The tagged person will receive an email notification with your comments and request details. If you don't like typing, you can take advantage of voice input for any of those comments or text field. Next. OnSite supports a simple process to document your work. You can put work on hold, reissue it, and complete it. You can optionally enter a note for your status change. The information will also appear in activity. If the equipment is missing from the request, you can assign it by barcode scanning or search. You must log your hours before you complete your work. You can review all your logs, as well as add or edit or delete your work log. Next. So OnSite supports direct connect with offline cache model. This is very similar to how Outlook email works. When the network is available, what you see is the live data to ensure the live accuracy. If the network is off or extremely slow, you can still view the cached pages that you have loaded previously. You can manually pull to refresh your work requests page as well as your work list anytime you want it. Next. So with that,
Oh,
I will walk you. Oh,
yep, I got it.
so great. So with that, I will make it. Fred, can you pause? Great. So with that, I will walk you through a quick demo. Imagine I'm a new technician. This is how I review and diagnose a thermostat issue. Then I create and resolve a related HVAC issue. Finally, I complete both requests. So my apologies if the video is a little bit choppy at places. I'm trying to cut out the typing part to save some time. So Fred, can you start?
Sure.
From beginning?
I'll start from the beginning. Yep.
Oh, awesome. So for first time, I enter my workplace URL, SSO, email, and my password. Then I set up my passcode to quick access later. I see my request by priority, change it to site and building. For demo purpose, I exit on site, then come right back. I can see my request right away. If I stay inactive for longer than 2 hours, for example, I will need to enter my passcode again. I review my request in SRL building. I'm trying to find a request with description freezing. So I'm using the search feature. I found it. I can also find a request by changing the sorting order. Use the sorting feature. So I change the thought to priority. Now I can open the request, expand the description, open location. I can zoom in and out. I can see the open room cards to see room details. I want to give a requester a quick call. I can do that right from the app. I want to know who else are assigned to the work request so I can ask questions and collaborate with them. To fix the issue, I adjust the thermostat, then documented it. I utilize the voice input to minimize typing. I also take a picture, then uploaded it from my photo library as a proof of my work. However, this doesn't fix the issue. I make a note, then go downstairs to investigate the HVAC unit further. I noticed that the HVAC unit is making loud noises. I want to create a new work request to fix it. First, I want to scan the equipment barcode. The equipment and the location info fill in automatically. I enter the location of the problem. This is optional. Select a problem type. I can search for it. Enter a description. I set the options to self-assign and linked it to the original issue. I can directly go to the new request. Review the equipment details. I'm going to verify the warranty info. Since I'm a new technician, I use the reference docs to help me diagnose the issue. It turns out that I need to lubricate the motor bearing. So I fix the issue, then move on to maintenance history. I wanted to see when the motor bearing PM was last performed on this equipment. It was a while ago, and I check the history details. I go back to the equipment request details page and will document my work. I also want to notify my supervisor that we should perform PM work on this unit soon. So I tagged my supervisor Sharon. Sharon will receive an email notification about it. So again, I can take advantage of voice input. Now I can complete my work. So I set the status to completed. OnSite remind me if I hadn't logged my hours yet. So I logged 30 minutes. And set my work as done. Make my final comments. Now I go back to the original request. Notice the new request is linked to this request and it's complete. I test the thermostat. It is now working properly. I notated it. Logged my hours and set the status to complete. Add my final comments. 2 works are done. As you can see, with very easy process and better data, OnSite helps me to get my job done easier. All my work are very well documented, so my supervisor or coworkers can reference them later. I think that's all for this demo. Fred, thank you. Get back to you.
Thank you. Thanks, Ying. Yeah, looks great, if I don't mind saying so myself. This new app for technicians begs the question, what happens with what we currently offer in the mobile framework? So I have the slide just to really simply describe where we are today and where we are focusing on in the future. So today we have the mobile framework. It includes many apps in the mobile framework. The apps are really categorized in 2 main categories, features for the end user, the employee, and features for people who are working in the field. Employee features include the Workplace Services portal, where you can do hoteling requests or service requests. And the field worker features include the maintenance mobile app, asset and equipment survey, Spacebook, among others. We are not moving away from the mobile framework. We're continuing to support it. However, working on in the future, given that mobile technology has advanced quite a bit since we delivered the mobile framework a few years ago, we've split out these employee features and field worker features into 2 distinct new applications, new apps, mobile apps. Archibus Workplace, which really focuses on the employee features, such as finding people and places, booking rooms, making service requests, booking conference room space. It's available as a web app, so it's available as a web URL. It's also, as of 26.3, available as a mobile app as well, something that you can download from the mobile stores. For field worker features is Archibus OnSite, what we just presented. As Ying presented, it handles work order processes, maintenance processes, communications, and more in the future to satisfy field worker features. So it's really just an example of where we are right now and where we're going in the future for with employee and field worker features on the mobile apps. But again, mobile framework is not going away. We're continuing to support it, but we are focusing more of our efforts on workplace and on OnSite, being as they are much more modern mobile interfaces. To demonstrate the link between the Archibus Workplace for the employee experience, employee-centric features, and Archibus OnSite, I do have a couple of additional videos to show, just to highlight the new features that we've been working on. So this is Archibus Workplace, where the user can come in and report a problem. In this case, and this is the mobile interface, as I mentioned. It's also available on desktop, but this is what I'm using here is the downloaded mobile app, saying that the lights are out. And the user can then identify where So I'm putting it right in the corner. With the mobile app, you can rely on native mobile features such as finding a photo from your previously taking photos in your camera roll, attach it, and you're done. Now, how does that relate to OnSite? So let's say that was taken, that was an issue that was logged from someone, from an employee. Using OnSite, then you can find that work request and act on it. So just a subset of what Ing had just gone over. But here's the electrical issue, lights are out. And you can see the location that made it onto the work request. See the photo that was uploaded, available in OnSite. And then from there, of course, making any comments and attaching any additional pictures is available. The lights are now on. And again, this goes right into the activity log, where any photos and activity can be documented along with status changes. And so just a quick and easy demonstration of how they can work together. Again, from the employee making requests to the technician working on them and fixing them. So how can you get Archibus OnSite? I mentioned before, it's a SaaS-based mobile solution, and it's going to be available with Archibus maintenance module, which is delivered via SaaS. So there's no special or additional price alone for Archibus OnSite. It's going to be part of the maintenance module via SaaS. So for existing or new SaaS deployments, if you get Archibus maintenance, you get OnSite included with it. For existing or new non-SaaS deployments, we have a couple of options. One is you can convert your entire deployment to SaaS delivery, or you get the Archibus maintenance deployed via SaaS, and you get SpaceIQ Connect for Archibus maintenance, which is a solution that we have built to connect your current deployment to our SaaS deployment in order to avail yourself of maintenance and OnSite via SaaS. Archibus maintenance on SaaS includes Archibus OnSite and SpaceIQ Connect. So the only extra expense there, well, there's getting maintenance via SaaS, and there's also getting the establishment service to set up SpaceIQ Connect. Once it's set up, background data from your current deployment gets synced automatically to the SaaS deployment, and stays current, whereas other transactional data such as new requests or statuses of existing requests get synced between the two environments. So that's how you can get it. As a reminder, for this and for other features, please use user voice to make suggestions on how we can improve our products. We take your ideas and your votes on ideas very seriously, and this whole process of creating a new mobile app for maintenance technicians came from user voice, and so we're happy to continue uh, to look at user voice and support it, and make sure that we communicate with you via user voice for any new features. And with that, I want to thank you for your attention, and I guess now we will take your questions.
All right, great. Thank you so much, Fred and Ing. We do have several questions, and I just want to say if we aren't able to get to all of them, we will put together an FAQ and send it out with the recording. But let's go ahead and get started, see how many we can get through. The first one is, how does the passcode feature affect users who are leveraging SSO?
Yeah, go ahead, Yang.
Go ahead. Yeah, so passcode feature is additional on top of SSO. So essentially, user have choice of log out every time when they are done with their using the app. So if they log out manually, they will need to use their SSO username and password to log in. And it's just a very quick ways if they want to take advantage of, they don't want to do too many typings and they want to take advantage of this feature, they can utilize that. But I think it's more of company's policy as how you wanted to your technician to the procedure you wanted your technician to follow.
Great, thank you. And the next question, are the grouping features user-defined or role-defined?
The app itself is a technician app, so all the technician roles will be able to access it. And then currently they are all predefined. So this list is coming from our survey as the most used grouping features that people want to have. But if there's something additional that, or if there's any feature request, you can always let us know through user voice.
Great, thank you. The next question, does the text or email link get stored in the work request?
It's not stored in the, you're talking about the comments in the request. If that's the case, then all the activity comments are stored in the help desk log table. So it's a separate table from work requests table. That's where we log all the documents, comments in there.
Okay, and does the work request number get referenced in the email?
Yes, it does. It's part of subject line as well as the inside of the email. It has request and other information.
Perfect. Okay, the next question, 2 hours is the threshold of inactivity before the user has to log in using their passcode. Can you refine the idle time before the user has to log in again? And if so, what are the implications on licensing?
This is configurable. So there is application parameters that you can change based on your needs. So by default, it's 2 hours, but you can change it anytime you want it.
Great, thank you.
Licensing via our SaaS modules are not based on concurrent users, so it has no bearing on licensing. Staying logged in doesn't have any bearing on licensing.
Perfect, thank you. And does this work on Wi-Fi too? If so, what communication modes are available if users are on Wi-Fi, via phone, text, or email?
Yes, it does. This support Wi-Fi and the data. So the action available really depends on the information you set up for the particular technician in your database. So if there is a phone field it's set up, then the phone and the message icon will show. And if the email is set up, which for I believe all of them will, so the email icon will show. If you saw some actions are disabled, that just means they don't have that information in your database.
Got it, thank you. The next question is the problem type selection 1-tier or 2-tier, and can you limit users to only select a 2nd tier?
Currently, it's just 1-tier selection. It will just, it will have different levels in one entry. For example, if you have electric and then you have electric and then some others, it will have a bar and then the next. So they were all listed as a list. So it's not a tree structure, but you can always search for it.
So the so the 2 tiers are supported if you're, I mean, the one that the demo that I just showed was a 2-tier problem that was then shown in OnSite as 2-tier. But you're saying it's just the way that it shows is not as a tree structure. It's just showed as shown as one text string.
One entry, yeah.
Great, thank you. The next question, is the building address and map accessible on the mobile app?
Building address is available. We haven't, it's not integrated with the Google Map yet. We're still researching on that. So I know it's a wish item for a map integration. So we might need to reach out to you and ask you more questions about your use case.
Okay, great. The next question, how many work requests can be listed on the mobile app? Is the number of displayed configured?
Because we are building this with a modern technology, which the technology we use is called infinity schooling, which allows us to load the first 100, and then when you scroll down, it will automatically loads the next set of data. So at one time, it only loads a certain amount, certain numbers of requests to ensure the performance. But if you want, you can just keep scrolling. You can get as many as you wanted.
Perfect, thank you. Is there a view that allows the worker to view all of their work performed that day so that they can ensure their input is complete? And can they see total hours entered and which work requests were performed?
Yeah, that's a good question. And please enter that to user voice. And we heard that a couple of times already. I'm sure it probably will get good votes that we'll put our efforts to.
Great, thank you. Next question, is it possible to customize the app?
Not for the first release. The only customizable field is the passcode timeouts. But we are building the configurability in our next release, and we're still trying to figure out what fields are needed to be configured, what others not necessary. So if you have any suggestions or requests, feel free to reach out to Fred or me, or send your request to user voice.
Great, thank you.
But it is a SaaS solution, so it's not gonna support, wholesale customizations, but certainly configuration options will continue to add in.
Great, thank you. Next question, are checklists included in Archibus OnSite?
It will be. It's a big feature, and we're planning on that. So it's definitely in our roadmap. It's a very high item.
Perfect, thank you. Next question, does Archibus OnSite preload background data the way the current mobile app does?
It doesn't. It's a direct connect model. So you don't have to wait and for all your work requests to download to your app. It will directly call to the service, a SaaS service, to get your real-time data. But whatever you viewed, the pages you viewed will be cached to your device. So you will be able to access it if you are, temporarily offline or you have very slow connection, then you can still view those pages.
Okay, thank you. And are you able to configure the Archibus Workplace not to allow for work request submissions?
It'll be for you, Fred, I think.
On Archibus Workplace.
The question is about whether, Archibus Workplace, you're able to configure. Sorry, I misread it. Yes, I believe if the service requests that are available in Workplace are based on the service catalog that has been pre-configured and by the business process owner. If there are no nothing in the request catalog that is, and there's an option there to allow a specific request type to be viewed in Workplace. So the basic answer is yes. You can configure what if any service request options are shown in Workplace.
Great, thank you. And one more for Archibus Workplace. Can you assign access to submit work requests based on user role?
I don't think so. No, it's just based on how the request, the service catalog is set up, and the options there are to make them available or not in Workplace, but not based on role.
Okay. Okay, so back to Archibus OnSite. Can a craftsperson self-assign a work request that is in the approved status?
Not in this release. Yeah, we understand there is a need for that. So the best way to for us to be able to work on this is for you to enter a request in the user voice.
Great, thank you. And what if you are completely on premise?
If you're completely on premise, as I mentioned, there's a way for you to buy maintenance via SaaS and just maintenance, and sync your background data that maintenance application, that maintenance needs in order to run both maintenance and on-site on SaaS. So it's effectively taking the maintenance portion out of your deployment and putting it on a SaaS deployment in order to operate both maintenance and on-site as a full CMMS.
And can you just talk again really quickly about what versions are required for both Archibus OnSite and Workplace?
Archibus, Archibus Workplace has been available for a few versions now, and the ability to create work requests or service requests also has been available for a few versions back. Archibus OnSite is available version 26.3 and beyond.
Great, thank you. The next question, how do technicians enter or edit their labor hours if they prefer to update all requests at the end of the day?
So currently, we are looking into the timesheet dashboard where user can review their times, but it's not in version 1. Currently, you are required to log your hours, and only after you log your hours, you can complete your work. That's the process. You have the options to enter the 0 hours and then complete the work. And with that, if you want to do it at the end of the day, you will need to go back to the office via Zoom, and then using maintenance console to do a quick search and just bulk update at one time. But in the future, we are planning on doing something like that. It's on the roadmap.
Great, thank you. And where does the asset information come from?
It's from equipment standard table. And the reference docs are coming from the docs assign table. And the maintenance history are coming from the archived work request table.
Great, thank you. The next question, does the problem type display restricted by configurations within the web application?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
It's maintenance problem types only. And some of the service requests that is defined in service catalog that are also maintenance related.
Okay, perfect. And then we kind of touched on this, but somebody just wanted confirmation. What happens like if you're in the basement with no signal? How does the information sync?
There's no synchronization for on-site because we utilize the live data. So if there's no signal, then any data you viewed before that are already cached on your device, you are able to access it. But if you never open a request, then you will not be able to open them.
Great, thank you. How often will we have a release of Archibus OnSite for SaaS?
That's a good question. Oh, Fred, go ahead.
Do you want me,
Yeah, go ahead. I think you probably.
So with our current Web Central release cadence is every quarter. We're looking into being able to divorce that and releasing OnSite via SaaS more frequently. It is its own mobile app. It allows us that flexibility. It's delivered via SaaS, so those elements allow us to be more flexible in our release cadence. We don't have a specified release cadence yet, but I do anticipate it to be more often than quarterly.
Great, thank you. And
does that fit with your thoughts too, Ing?
Yes, absolutely. And actually, we're planning to do smaller releases that's not dependent on the backend changes, because the OnSite also depends on the back end Archibus changes. So yeah, Fred was totally right on that.
Right. So yeah, we'd have to plan for any kind of backend changes, or workflow or database changes would have to be in line with with Web Central changes. But there's plenty that we can do that don't rely on those type of changes. So it's yeah, there are some dependencies, but not all dependencies. I also just wanted to mention with the self-assign, it is also something we talked about. It has come up. It's on the roadmap. There probably is a user voice item on that, but the more votes, the better. So certainly anything that we have on our roadmap, we do think we are going to do, but the timing may be dependent on how important we think it is, and that's where your feedback comes in.
Great, thank you. And can you just confirm one more time if a customer is currently on SaaS, what they need to do to get up and running on Archibus OnSite?
If customers on SaaS and they have, if they have the maintenance module, then they can, there's no additional licensing requirements. They can download OnSite and start using it with their deployment. If they do not have the maintenance module, then they simply have to purchase the maintenance module. So it's not its own. We try to make things much more simpler than they may have been in the past. So we feel that any complete CMMS solution includes both a desktop and a mobile component. So we did not want to separate them as separate prices. You get when you expect a full-featured CMMS, that's what you get, and you get both the desktop, which exemplified by the maintenance console, and you get the mobile component in Archibus OnSite.
Great. I think we have gone through all the questions. Let me just do, oh, one more just came. Oh, no, we did answer that. Okay. Yeah, so I think we have answered all of the questions. So thank you again, Fred and Ing, for presenting, and thank you everyone for attending today. As I mentioned, we will be sending out the recording either later today or tomorrow, and we hope you all have a great day.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Have a good day.